So what was your, first of all, welcome to Seattle. What was your previous connection with the Sounders? And if you could tell us a little bit about the journey that you took to this job. It sounded like it was maybe a little circuitous.
Yeah, it was very interesting. I would say my main connection with the Sounders is first of all, playing against the Sounders, coaching against the Sounders. Um, with that as well, I was on the last year of my contract with Vancouver, I knew at the end of the year there would be me moving on. It would be me moving on. With that, I applied for the role with the second team and got the role. And that was, again, December, November time. And then, towards the end of December, that there was obviously vacancy in the staff, right? My name came in the hat. Things sort of snowballed with conversations with Brian and the staff, and here I am. So that was short story long.
Yeah. How would you describe like your preferred? Like, what do you feel like you do particularly well as a coach?
Yeah, for me, I think first and foremost, I'm passionate about what I do. I love what I do, especially on the pitch, and as a foundation, I enjoy what I do, right? So, and hopefully that feeds off players and staff and people in the environment to create a good environment, right, and a competitive environment as well. So, in addition to that, I've tried to develop each and every day as a coach. I feel like I'm still a relatively young coach, but I've tried to do my due diligence in developing as a coach, get my licenses, worked in a lot of different levels, academy, second team, first team, to make sure I'm preparing myself as a coach to be ready whatever situation I'm in, right? So with that, just try to contribute well to culture as a coach, be a leader in the moments I can, right, and just adhere to the playing style the best I can and apply it in my coaching on the pitch, right? So I would say those are the main things, if that makes sense.
What is it that you've been told about your role with the team so far? What is it that you're going to be doing here for the assistant and staff?
Yeah, I would say as of now, a role geared towards, player development, for one. In addition to that, we're talking through roles with set pieces as well, right? In addition to that, I would say general assistant coaching roles, assistant coaching role, to support Brian and the rest of the staff, if that makes sense.
You mentioned culture a couple minutes ago. Just from your early time here, how would you describe the culture in this building and around this club?
Yeah, it's I've only been here 2 or 3 days, but with speaking to different staff members in the process to come here and seeing it for myself in the last couple of days, it's been a very spirited, very hardworking. As you know, Sounders, they're very homegrown oriented, if that's the right word. The best I can do is, again, bring what I can to the table in the mix of the culture here, right, and hopefully add value the best way I can.
To that extent, what was your, impressions of Brian Schmetzer from afar before coming here, and then have any of that changed since you gotten to know him here a little bit?
I'm still obviously getting to know him more closely after working with him over the last couple of days. But I think for one, the success and the consistency, continuity speaks for itself, right? Most people, if that's the case, then somebody's doing something right? So I would say that, that sort of speaks for itself. And working with him, you can tell he has experience. You can tell he's organized. You can tell he manages well, and it'll be a good reference for me as a developing coach.
Your playing career is recent enough and a high enough achievement that I would imagine a lot of these players are at least familiar with you as a player. How are you able to sort of use that? And do you feel like it's important to be able to sort of relate to players in that way?
Yeah, 100%. So hopefully, me being in their shoes can help give me a better understanding of what they need, right? Of what they're feeling in the moment, what they're going through in different aspects as a professional soccer player, on the pitch, in moments, big games, right? Things like that. So I try to use that not so to tell them what I did, but more so to help me coach better, right? And again, relate to the players in a better way, so hopefully I can get them to respond. So I see it.
How would you describe having to adapt? You talked about difference of clubs and groups of players, different egos, different personalities. How would you describe that adaptation to this specific group of players?
Yeah, so I've been fortunate to work with different clubs and different levels. I was with the Dynamo with the academy for a couple years. Even before that was get my feet wet in Columbus with the academy as well, and learning from different coaches I played under. Obviously with the first team as assistant with Vancouver, and then after that with the second team. So all of that's been great for me to experience different environments and learn from as many different people and environments as possible to bring value here. That's why I can.
Welcome to Seattle.
Yeah, but with that, I've had to adapt in every environment I've been in, right? And I take that adaptation as great learning for me, again, to hopefully develop as a coach, to then apply that coaching to help make the players better and the environment better and the other people around me better, hopefully.
Ricardo, who were the most important coaches both in playing and maybe just even being around in your career?
Yeah, I mean, I've learned from a lot of coaches. I've learned, what to do. I've learned what not to do. I've learned, I picked up different methods and different styles from other coaches to, hopefully blend to create my own coaching style, right?
Who are some of those important people?
To answer your question,
Yeah.
thankfully, my first coaching experience in the league was with Bob Bradley, right? So I think even, that was back in 2003, so I was able to, learn a lot under him, especially in regards to a structure. But even with that, I think he grew as a coach over the 8-10 years, wherever I was with him. And, was able to pick up things from him, with that as well. I think after that was Dom Kinnear, legend in MLS as a coach. Learned how to, first of all, win, or at least promote winning. In addition to, how you should go about managing a locker room and a group and putting a group together, right? So, you go on, the list goes on after that. Coaches in Germany, Michel Skiba. In addition to that, was fortunate to work with Greg Berhalter in Columbus and the rest of their staff, who were excellent. And then, Vanny in Vancouver, who, was an instructor. So it was a good environment for me to learn, especially the theory of the game. And, obviously with Jesper in Vancouver after Vanny, with the different, more aggressive style, was able to pick up some things from there to, again, add to what I do and how I express myself as a coach. And I'm looking to do the same thing with the whole coaching staff here, because they've been excellent, with Freddie, Preki, and of course Brian, to be able to learn from.
Last couple guys.
One of the things the Sounders have talked a lot about is how vertically integrated the whole sort of club is, from the first team all the way down to the academy, and the coaches working together and whatnot. I'm just curious how that was in Vancouver. Like, did you have a lot of first team contact when you were the Whitecaps 2 coach?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we were very integrated. Our second team squad was a little bit lighter than here, which was a little bit purposeful in order to allow the academy players to get opportunity, which we, I think, were able to improve in and evolve the club in to incorporate more younger players who had earned it into not only the second team but even the first team, right? So obviously Seattle has a good history, a track record of doing that, and there's very similar processes within all that to make those types of things happen. So it seems very seamless to transition. Obviously, there's little things here and there that are doing different, and I'll learn and be able to contribute the way I can within that. So, it's very similar, to be honest, and a lot of processes are very similar, and I'm still learning. It's only 3 days in, so I'm sure I'll know more about that as time goes along, right? So.